Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do a little review of L'Odyssée pour Homme Yuzu Edition, which is a 2014 release. And it's a flanker to the original L'Odyssée pour Homme, which came out in 1994. According to Fragrantica, they're both classified as woody aquatic perfumes, but with the Yuzu Edition, it features a more enhanced yuzu experience, allegedly, compared to the original, which already has a yuzu note. It's kind of known for the yuzu note, and I think it might be the first perfume to feature yuzu. If you've never smelled the original, I would describe it as having this very nice sea salt accord. It's not featured in the note breakdown, but that's what I pick up first and foremost. And then there is that wonderful yuzu. There's some woods. It's very crowd pleasing and easy to wear. You could wear it in pretty much any occasion, and it makes a great signature scent. So that is the original. When it comes to differences, the main difference between these two is in the opening. With the Yuzu Edition, I find in the opening it has a very bitter and sour yuzu. I'm imagining the yuzu is hanging on the tree. It's not ready to be picked. It's hard, and it's surrounded by the leaves and the foliage. So there is more greenness from the foliage. It's kind of leafy a bit, like spicy green, in a way reminding me of tomato leaf, just a little bit. You don't get tomato leaf from this perfume, but it has a bit of that feeling to it. So that's how the yuzu comes across to me in this perfume, which might be a big factor for you. It's not a juicy, ready to be eaten yuzu, which I know it's not something that you eat, but it doesn't have that fleshy, juicy, fruity feeling. The original L'Odyssée pour Homme, I don't find the yuzu to be that way either, but with the original, I don't get anything green in that whatsoever. It does feature green notes, but I don't find anything green about it. And it's this greenness in the Yuzu Edition that makes it just a little bit more challenging in that it's more astringent compared to the original, which is softer and rounder. And for that reason, I find it a little bit easier to wear. And then another glaring difference is that I don't find the Yuzu Edition to have that sea salt accord at all. And that is such a big component of the original, is the sea salt. And the sea salt also gives it this warmth in its character, whereas the Yuzu Edition I don't find to be very warm at all. The dry down maintains the freshness of the opening, although it does soften up, and it does kind of lose any sort of watery feeling that the opening had. It becomes easier to wear as it does dry down, but it still does feel brighter compared to the original. And this brightness also, I would describe it as more high-pitched. And when I say that, I mean I'm registering it higher up in my body. I'm feeling it in my sinuses, in the top of my head. With the original, I'm feeling it lower in my body. I'm feeling it in my nose, of course, but also in my throat and in my chest. And for that reason, it feels easier to wear and more pleasant to smell, for me at least. With the Yuzu Edition, it does feel just a bit abrasive because it feels brighter and more high-pitched. When they both dry down, and like I said, the original, the dry down is pretty much like the opening to me. and the Yuzu Edition, it just gets a little bit softer and loses some of that freshness and some of that spiky greenness. The dry downs are still kind of different to me. And I would say that if you have one, you could still have the other. It wouldn't be redundant to have both of them because they do feel different enough. And what's also interesting is that with the Yuzu Edition, the note breakdown, it features yuzu, citron, ginger, vetiver, nutmeg, and cedar. The original has a ton of notes, including like lotus and tarragon and cypress. But I could actually see the note breakdowns being switched for these two perfumes, because with the Yuzu Edition, I could definitely feel like there would be lotus and tarragon in there, which would definitely make sense because of how green it can feel. And then the ginger of the Yuzu Edition, I could find that more so in the original because it does have that warmth. And I almost do pick up a little bit of a gingery smell in the original, just a little bit. Not as spicy as the actual ginger plant, but I do feel like I could pick a bit of that up in the original. So that's interesting. The notes definitely feel like they could be swapped between these two perfumes. Other than that, as far as the wear, I find the original to be a stronger wear, longer lasting. The Yuzu Edition is pretty comparable, but I feel like it's a little bit less strong compared to the original perfume. Other than that, I can't think of anything else really to say. It's a great perfume. If you like citrus, it's a good choice. Although I will say, the yuzu note doesn't really persist through the entire wear. It does kind of go away after the opening, and then you're left with a fresh perfume, but you're not really getting a sour or sparkling citrus note in the later wearing of the perfume. It's just this fresh feeling. So if you're thinking of getting this, hoping that it's going to be a yuzu fragrance from beginning to end, you might be disappointed and you might want to look elsewhere, because I don't feel like that's the case. So I don't really know if it lives up to its name, but if you want to have a nice yuzu experience on the first 30 minutes of the wearing, then this might be the way to go. I think that that's everything I can say about this perfume. If you have any questions or thoughts, please let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later.